I want to talk about how to do research and development really well. I think it is super important to think about this. And if you are trying to do something that is focused on research and development, I really want to focus on how do you actually do this. So I'm actually sitting in my new Tesla. We just got this week. And I am a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And I create this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor for to help you out as much as I possibly can. So the key thing to remember with research and development, you got to experience a tremendous outlay of resources at the beginning. And what's going to happen is you're going to experience this dip where you're not going to feel great about what you are doing. You're going to be spending a tremendous amount of money, and it's not necessarily going to feel like you're going to have any outcome from this thing, any particular positive outcome from this thing. And the story of everything, including this Tesla, is very much this way, where at the beginning, at least for, say, maybe it's 5-10 years, you're not going to get very good returns from your money for doing research and development. But over the long run, if you're continuously investing and doing these things, it does pan out, because every once in a while you do get an opportunity. You do hit an opportunity. So the goal with this is to look for those opportunities, and the way that you do that is continuously investing. And you want to make sure that you don't necessarily go over what you actually are capable of investing. So what I like to do and think about, and this is the same as my life, that's what I'm doing with the Reciprocity Project, is I think what is about 10-15%, something like that. That's kind of like an arbitrary number, but some arbitrary number between 0 and 30%. You should be able to waste it on things that will possibly have opportunity there, but you don't necessarily know what those particular opportunities are. And thinking about, like, you are just building this over time. And when you're doing it, you don't feel great. You feel all sorts of weird negative emotions, but you just got to keep going and keep pushing forward with it. And this is strongly, I believe, even more so as I've gotten older, the reason why things quit is because the managers quit on it, or they don't believe in it anymore. And really what you need to do is just keep pushing past through all of those emotions. It's a lot like running a marathon. It's a lot like any educational journey. What you're looking for is just those steady steps every single day and investing in something for a long term. Now you might be asking, what about the sunk cost fallacy? What about all of these things where you're just investing and you might not get a return? That is absolutely true. And that's the risk with research and development. But here's the thing. What you end up doing is you find opportunities along the way. If you're astute, you're going to be looking for things. And it's not only you as the firm or the manager that's going to be changing, but it's also everybody else identifying with you and what you're about. And so that's the key thing with this, is setting some arbitrary amount, right? So I think like 10-15% where you're just wasting on new opportunities, right? Like it's a waste. You're throwing money out the window. It's going to feel like that. But as you're doing it, you're looking for opportunities to exploit the thing that you're actually trying to build, and look for ways that you can leverage what you already have. So that is the key thing, is just be on the aware that, yes, you're going to feel terrible. The whole time, the whole experience, you're going to feel terrible. It's not going to be fun. There's no way that, building anything where the rest of the world just does not believe in it, right? They don't see it. And so what you need to do is bring them along on the journey so that they actually see what you're building. But it's going to take an awful lot of time and a lot of effort by the time other people start believing in what you're doing. And I mean years, right? So your mindset, the way that you're thinking about things, is just like an educational journey, right? You're thinking, hey, this is not going to work out immediately, but what's going to work out is maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, there's something that's going to happen from this thing, and I'm just going to keep investing it over time. Now, here's the thing. If it doesn't pan out and it doesn't turn into something, and you wasted all this money. You have to view it as like, this is your fun money. This is the thing that you're enjoying, that you're doing. It is goofing around. It's a hobby. It's whatever it is. You need to sort of frame it in such a way that you're okay with losing that money, right? And if you're okay with it, even though that you've tried and you've done all that kind of stuff over the years, then you know that you're just having fun. Ultimately, that's where you need to frame it, and that's where you need to go, is think about this in an entire positive way. Major companies that are innovative, they have to do this. It's really, really hard to work through the stigma of failure. It's really hard to not have the external pressure from the outside world pushing you down. But you really need to focus on that, where you are just exploring new opportunities and wasting. Just absolutely wasting, but being okay with the fact that you're wasting money that's coming in, right? So remember this, right? So if you are bringing in money, there's a certain amount of money that you can bring in, right? Like certain amount, but you got to take a portion of that and just throw it out the window at research and development or whatever it is that you're thinking of actually working on. This wasting component is vitally important to doing anything that's innovative. And you get to sort of set that level of how much you're actually wasting and throwing out the window, right? You could set it at 1%, that's not enough. You can set it at 50%, it's probably too much, right? Like if it's really high, it's probably too much, so you're throwing away. But if it's some arbitrary amount, 10 to 15% of whatever you bring in is being wasted on research and development, so extending the opportunities that you have right now, that is a pretty good amount. So, and then you can create really cool things over time, because what you're trying to do is create a movement where other people believe in what you're doing, much like the Tesla that I'm sitting in right now. Nobody believed in it at the beginning. It was a pipe dream. It was really stupid. But over time, more and more people believe in it. And now, this year, it's starting to become one of the most popular vehicles in the market. All right, take care. And oh, by the way, that's like 15 years after the fact of actually doing this thing. So, all right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.